Now, to start this entire short interview off, I just want to ask a really quick icebreaker question. What is the best piece of advice you have ever been given?
My boss at Microsoft, he said, it doesn't matter where, when, what you're gonna do, there'll always be a dirty laundry and dishes to do. So I think that advice is still relevant. It does not matter how big I get, what kind of role I play, president or CEO. I think I still have that laundry and dishes to do. And that's actually a good, relaxing way to unwind.
You're not afraid to get your hands dirty.
There you go.
Wonderful. So you spoke of your manager from Microsoft. Can you speak a little bit more about your time there? This was previous to Divergence Academy, of course.
A fun place, you know. I learned everything I have learned to be at Microsoft or here is through the 14-year journey that I went through at Microsoft. You learn a lot through multiple reorganizations, multiple managers. You get to play with a lot of technology. You get to apply technologies in so many different scenarios. You get to see the influence of technology in so many industries and people's lives. You know, so that's the part that I'm excited about all the time. You know, so what does technology play a role? What influence does it have? And bringing that to Divergence. So, question again.
Your time at Microsoft, how long were you there, first of all, and what was your role there?
January 8th, 2001 is when I joined Microsoft, and July 17th of 2014 is when I ended my role at Microsoft. I played many roles. I was a senior consultant for enterprise applications practice to becoming a program manager for business desktop deployment, Black Belts team. I think my name is still on one of those blue Windows deployment books somewhere as an acknowledgement to my role there. And I was practice manager for premier support for developers team, and then became a director for developer support, then graduated to become director for strategy and innovation for enterprise support organization. So in the 13 and a half years, 14 years at Microsoft, I got a chance to play so many different roles, work with so many people. I think that's the beautiful part of my journey, that friends, extended friends and family, they're all still around, and we still talk to each other, and that's the most fun part of being at Divergence today, but still have a connection back to Microsoft.
Amazing. And how did that robust experience from the diverse roles that you played in at Microsoft translate to running your own business? And Divergence has been around since 2014, is that correct?
Correct. 2014, remember I told you we had my last role at Microsoft, my last day at Microsoft. Being in the large organization, learning how to set up systems, how to institutionalize certain departments, how to drive performance of a team, how to grow a small team to a large team, how do you establish multiple locations, programs and products, product lines, how do you support that? I don't think there's any way to learn all that in a small company like Divergence. I think a lot of it is coming from my experience at Microsoft. Thinking about where do I go next, my whole idea was that I was going to be a management consultant, carry a briefcase, go around, let every organization know how to build teams, put teams on software development, product development teams, and figured out that wherever and whatever I was going to do involved a component of education. So that's when, so going back to formation of the company, so 3.5, 4 months after, realized that to be in the education business, you had to pick a spot. We decided that the best place to be is in technology, but emerging technology. And at that point in time, everybody talked about data science, citizen data science, citizen data scientist. So, okay, we're going to get started with citizen data scientist, only to realize that we had to be Texas Workforce Commission approved school, we had to have a location, we needed tables and chairs and all that stuff. So we got that going. We got approval on May 17th of 2015. We were off and running. And 6 months after, on September 28th, I still remember, we had 2 students walk in, and there begins our data science cohort with 2 students. And last year, 2020, we did 320 students, and the first 4 years were 170. That's rounded up to 340, so it's like double what we did the first 4 years in 1 year.
Wow, that's phenomenal growth.
Yeah, that's an awesome growth, and
Yeah.
it's despite COVID, and for lots of reasons. We now have students coming in. Of course, shelter in place. They're at home, and they want to take advantage of remote learning possibilities, remote life possibilities. And I think Divergence stepped up to that game where we now can deliver training in person, remote, and blended, all through Microsoft Teams and technologies. So again, another proud moment where we are applying technology to bring more new learning to lots of people.
What accomplishment are you most proud of?
The biggest one for me is not about technology, the proud of moment. It's looking at the 14 families that I have now in the organization, my own FTEs, my full-time employees. Look at the team that I built and look at the families that the Divergence as an organization is now supporting. And that's a proud moment, right? It's not me anymore. It's everybody that is now part of Divergence. Technology is there to make these beautiful moments happen. And when they happen, there is nothing more bigger than that creation, that accomplishment. And I think that's the best part of being there.
Where do you think Divergence Academy will be in 5 years?
Or wherever you are, right? Virtual, in person, remote, online, blended, whatever experience you choose. Augmented reality, mixed reality, virtual reality. You want an instructor close to your table where you're sitting? How about a hologram? Instructor as a hologram, right, sitting next to you, walking you through your lab assignment. How about wherever you're sitting? It could be in Timbuktu, and we could have a class broadcasted, streamed in a virtual reality theater right next to you. Doesn't matter. It could be fun way to engage in all kinds of cool stuff. Delivery should become simpler because of technology, and the audience has to get larger. I like to see Divergence in lots of places.
I think to sum up this interview, I will ask one last fun question, which is simply share one interesting thing about yourself that the rest of the world doesn't know.
Oh, there was once I had a monkey on my back.
Do you want to expound on that story? Where were you?
I was in India. We were on a road trip to Agra, New Delhi, Agra, Taj Mahal, and we stopped by Fatehpur Sikri, one of those locations near the fort. Walking by a bunch of monkeys, and at the fort, I think the person who was giving us a tour said, "Sir, would you like to sit down?" Yes, I sat down, and next thing I know, I had a monkey on the back. All I had to do was feed it up, and it ate, and then just left. So when somebody says you have a monkey on your back, in this case, literally there was a monkey on the back.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you.